Meanwhile in the Vendee globe, German, Boris Herrmann, had to stop and slow yesterday, and overnight, MacGiver, a repair issue with his port, foil ram pin. He repaired the system, only for it to break again. He had to retrieve the pieces from the bowels of the boat before being able to fix the foil bearing. Here he explains what happened.
Okay, I will tack now. Well, this is the first tack since a very long time. And normally we're not tacking in the Southern Ocean. We should be diving downwind, but the low pressure went away. We're now in a high and the wind is turning against us. But tonight we should already be reaching again. So, hey guys, I really had a big mental downer this morning. I will tell you more about it later. I will also try to appear differently. I'm not well, I'm tired and I look crazy, I guess. And look, my boat looks crazy too. All this shit. Oh my god, I didn't manage to clean up. I had so much work last night and couldn't sleep. But I did the coolest MacGiver thing. I'm so proud of that. Look at this. This was my invention of the distant grip to catch something. I will tell you more about it later. So now we're tacking and I see you after on the other side. Let's go south. Lots of birds here around me. There's an albatross there. I don't know what the little blackbirds are. Here's my albatross. Like a remote controlled little airplane, no? That moves the wings. Never moves the wings. Another one. What's going on? So many birds.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, December 6, 2024. Elsewhere in the Jules Verne Trophy attempt, both of the huge trimarans are currently out and returning to their home ports. Here we have today's report from SVR Lazartigue.
Salut tout le monde. On est sur le trimaran S V R LAZARTIGUE, encore du beau temps. On rentre de notre première tentative cet hiver sur le trophée Jules Verne. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de projets ou d'équipes qui ont réussi, voire il n'y en a pas, je pense, qui ont réussi dès la première tentative. Donc il faut de la persévérance et de l'énergie, on en a. Ça s'était bien passé ce début de descente de l'Atlantique, mais là, suite à la casse du foil tribord, on rentre en Bretagne. On a encore pas mal d'incertitudes sur la météo en fin de semaine avec une tempête qui arrive en France vendredi. Donc on anticipe, on va bien regarder la météo ce prochain jour pour trouver la meilleure façon d'amarrer le bateau entre Brest, Concarneau, voilà, essayer d'anticiper et s'adapter au mieux pour être prêt le plus rapidement possible pour un nouveau départ. Je crois qu'on est tous les 6 hyper motivés à ça. Si on pouvait repartir quasiment directement, on le ferait. On a l'envie pour ça et Pour repartir, il faut qu'on change le foil tribord. Donc ça, l'équipe est en train de préparer un foil de rechange qu'on a à Concarneau. On a un petit truc sur l'arrière du flotteur tribord qui est sous le safran, une tôle de fermeture du fond de la coque qu'il faut remplacer. Et sinon un petit check de l'ensemble du bateau, mais dans les grandes lignes, je suis confiant, je pense qu'on est capable d'être assez rapide, d'être opérationnel rapidement.
Of course, the ocean race people are looking at the Vendee Globe race very closely, as they are morphing into a crude IMOCA race. Navigator Simon Fisher, or SciFi as he is known, finds the speeds impressive.
The Vendee Globe has been an incredible race to watch so far, and the speeds are seriously impressive. It's absolutely incredible seeing our old boat, doing 650 miles, with just Seb on board solo. You know, we knew we had a fast boat, and it makes us very proud as the people that helped develop that boat. Any experience in the ocean race has got to be incredibly positive for anyone taking on the Vendee. Just give the opportunity for people to learn those boats and understand how fast they can go, how hard you can push it. I think it's no surprise that we're seeing a lot of the competitors and the boats that performed in the ocean race at the front of the fleet for the Vendee. These foiling boats definitely prefer flatter water, and when they have an opportunity to find themselves in decent breeze going into an area where there was high pressure, essentially not very much breeze, and therefore a flat sea state really creates the conditions where records are achievable. And we've seen that obviously in the ocean race when we crossed the Atlantic, and now we're seeing that in the South Atlantic. Sailing very fast in decent wind speed or on a steady angle, and minimal sea state. I think for the boats that fall off the back of that system and have to jibe down and sail on starboard behind the system, it'll be a very different experience on board. So right now there's plenty of incentive to keep going fast and keep pushing those records.
As the Vendee Globe fleet head towards the Southern Ocean, the Clipper race has released a video of their leg from Cape Town to West Australia to show the fury of the seas in this part of the world. Their crews were newbies with a few pros, so this made it even more exciting for the Corinthian sailors.
Leg 3, the Roaring Forties, is quite simply the holy grail of sailing. Once the teams leave South Africa, they're going to dip down quite fast to below 40 degrees south, and this is the place where typically you get the biggest waves.
The Southern Ocean has the myth around it, one of the most remote, wildest oceans in the world.
So I chose leg 3 on the basis of it appearing to be one of the more remote spots of the world. That really appealed in terms of a challenge for me.
I didn't want to come on a sailing experience that was always blue skies and just cruising around. I wanted to experience the extreme of that weather.
The excitement here comes from the speeds generated when a big roller picks up the Clipper 70 and surfs under spinnaker down the face of these huge waves at speeds of over 30 knots.
Goodness gracious, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that before.
I can definitely say we surfed some pretty mega waves.
Oh my god, exhilarating, terrifying, everything in between. I think you could firmly say that my head was right in the mouth of that lion. Like, talk about adrenaline dump.
But the most powerful emotions come from the remoteness. It's just you and your team on the boat in this stark, ever-changing landscape. And even though you'll be racing the rest of the Clipper race fleet, you might not see another boat for a week or more at a time. And that feeling of isolation will be unlike anywhere else on the planet.
The remoteness is truly amazing.
You're out there pretty much on your own, no boats, no humans, just you, the sea.
A highlight unique to this part of the planet will be sightings of the amazing wandering albatross who glide effortlessly above the mountainous waves. It's a magical place to be.
These albatrosses come out of these waves and gliding so elegant into these big waves. I had such a picture in my mind that I really wanted to experience.
Towards the end of the leg, as you steer north again, You're nearing the Australian continent now, and the sun will start to show itself again, and the layers will start to come off.
The sun is glorious, the weather is fantastic. It's a little bit of champagne sailing.
The conditions may still be big, but now you've got blue sky, champagne sailing. These final days of the leg can be some of the best sailing of the whole circumnavigation.
Just wanted to experience it, so it was an easy choice for me. And having done it, I'm very happy I chose it. It was everything I wanted it to be.
Leg 3 has definitely met my expectations. I really hoped to be faced with some pretty terrifying conditions in terms of being able to challenge me and see how I respond to situations that push boundaries. I feel pretty proud that actually we've gone out there and winds over 40 knots.
This leg has been really fun and really difficult. It made me do all of the things that I never thought I could do. It pushed me in ways that I never knew I could even be pushed.
Your expectations I don't know where they come from, but it's been tougher than I could have imagined. But you get through it.
Last night's Star Show was absolutely wonderful and was well worth every penny I paid to do this trip.
And when you finally reach Australia, you will know you have done something that very few people will ever get to do.
The 2024 US Wingfoil Championship was an exhilarating event showcasing the rapid growth and excitement surrounding this discipline in sailing. The inaugural championship, held over 3 days of intense competition, drew top wingfoil athletes from across the country to vie for the first ever US Wingfoil Championship title. It took place in picturesque San Francisco, California, at St. Francis Yacht Club, who provided ideal conditions for wingfoiling, due to San Francisco Bay's characteristically strong winds.
Super tucked up. I mean, the windward mark on days like today is always a crapshoot. You really got to pick the puff off and when you're going to come into it and how.
And we also had ebb switch, so we had some ebbing tide out there, very strong breeze gusting up to like mid-30s, and we were still racing. It was awesome. This place is incredible.
Officials were forced to abandon racing on day 1 of the NSW 18-foot skiff championship today when an intense electrical storm accompanied by heavy rain and hail swept in from the west, reducing visibility to near zero on the Sydney Harbour course. Racing in the championship will continue over the next 3 Sundays, December 8, 15 and 22, on the same course, with the 8-race championship now being reduced to 6 races, with each team still permitted to drop its worst performance to determine a final score.
We're looking for a really nice start to the state championships today. Beautiful sea breeze coming in.
How are we doing for rig in the water?
Going into the New South Wales states today, it's looking like a pretty good nor'easter.
So yeah, the spring series went pretty well for us. Can't really complain. We had a pretty good series and ended up on top. But certainly some areas we can improve on. I think, especially when it got a bit softer, we sort of weren't quite as dominant as we had been in the previous stuff. So maybe working on our down pressure modes and yeah, especially coming into this light day of sailing today, it'll be a good test of that.
Did no one see this coming?
There'll be no wind forever now. This will be a dead day.
On a wet and miserable day in Sydney Harbour.
Want to swap? We should have hedged and just stayed ashore. I see you have chosen the shorter rig for the lightning. It is hailing, yeah. Ah! Abandon ship, head back to shore.
First day of summer, eh?
Ah! Ow! Where's my helmet? Let's get to starboard so at least we can head in if it just gets nuclear.
We'll just have a look first, don't worry. The engine's probably gone. Right, put it in, put it in, put it in. Put it in. We're just going to get moving forward a little bit and we'll be alright. Should we go over towards the land, get a bit of shelter? That's alright, down she goes. All good, all good.
Yeah, send us in, hey?
That'd be a good story if we got struck by lightning. So you can't see the bridge anymore. There's a proper whiteout coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! That's a big slug of hail.
Oh, we got hail. There was a horn there, wasn't it? Attacking over. We'll just keep it like this for a bit, eh? I think we set it upside down. Everyone clear?
Look at that!
So looking back, we had a bit of a rough 6 spring championships. It was really windy, which obviously there's not a lot of me. I don't have a lot of weight to contribute to the boat. So we had a bit of a rough start to the season, but really looking to kind of dial in our consistency and improving our race starts, dialing in the rigs more, and just having fun on the water would be great.
It's been a pretty tricky season. I think we've had 3 Sundays in a row which have been over 30 knots. And that's just made it, it's just made it challenging. it's hard work. And then I've had different crew every single day. So yeah, it's been a bit tough, and hopefully get more regular crew on and you'll see our results improve over time, which will be good.
For the Sprint Championships, for the 6th one, we unfortunately didn't do too well. We had a couple of times that we had to withdraw from the race because we were using the wrong jib. But, you know, overall the boat was going pretty quick. Goals for the JJs. Beat Harry Price is the main one, and I think if we do that, then we should be at least first or second. The target is to win. I won't deny it, but you know, there's still a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, so we got second in the 6 spring series, which we're pretty happy with, considering it was quite heavy wind and we're a new team together. So it was really just, you know, for us, getting used to sailing with each other and getting our boat handling down packed. So coming into the next New South Wales Champs, we're looking to touch up on our boat handling, which we have done throughout the 6 spring series, and go from there. So for the JJs, I think our goal is pretty clear. We'd like to win. Training for that, obviously. Last year was a bit of a thrown together season for us on the rag. I joined in December, so it was a bit of a hodgepodge, you could say. But this year we've got the crew fully committed for the whole season, so that's a good start. And yeah, just trying to keep everyone fit, doing a bit of stuff on the side. It's been good.
We did okay in the 6 spring series. A few good results, a couple not so good, but it got really windy. But overall, I think we were 5th, which is not too bad. For the New South Wales Champs, I think we're probably looking to be a bit more consistent.
Our goal for the JJs is definitely get on the podium, so we want to be up there racing at the top of the fleet. So looking forward to the rest of the season to get there.
I think we came 11th, somewhere around there for the spring series.
So over Christmas we get a bit of a break. We get, I think, 3 weeks before our nationals up in Brisbane. So really looking to get any intensive boat work that we need done over that break, do a lot of training, and then head into Brisbane as a bit of a trial run for our JJ. So we get lots of training in, lots of start practice, lots of hopefully windy and wavy weather up in Brisbane, which should be fun.
Mathescayo, France, and Nia Suardiaz, Spain, were the champions at the recent Wingfoil Racing World Cup China. After no wind on the final day in Pingtan Island, the outcome was determined on the results from earlier in the week. Both Gayo and Suardiaz put down a winning marker in the opening marathon race, and both performed to a very high level in the short course racing of the opening series.
The Wingfoil Racing World Cup season is underway, and Pingtan Island has set the stage for the first ever event in China. A fleet of 113 riders gathered on Pingtan Island for this unique event, giving competitors the opportunity to race in a new location. The level of competition was among the highest ever seen in a Wingfoil event, and riders knew they needed to bring their A game to perform at their best.
The level is looking crazy. The girls are evolving so much. There has been more than 30 people competing here in the women's, so yeah, it's super crazy to see how many people are joining the sport and how it's growing.
The highlight of the first day of action was the marathon race, where 113 riders launched from a high-speed rapid start onto a long-distance course featuring a mix of upwind, downwind, and frenetic reaching legs in 20 knots of winds. Ultimately, it was Lazartigue and S who emerged as the victors. Another day of warm water and pleasant breezes set the stage for great racing, as 5 short course races were held for the 4 men's and 2 women's qualifying groups in the opening series.
We have been racing for the first 2 days really tight. The basic action was super interesting. Each mistake cost fortune, so that was super important to keep up and do the best trade from the beginning.
After the second day of action in Pingtan, the wind decided to take a break for the remainder of the competition days. However, the riders, hailing from various countries and backgrounds, still managed to enjoy themselves with other beach activities while waiting for the wind to eventually join the party. Ultimately, due to a lack of wind even on the final day at Pingtan Island, the outcomes were determined based on the results from earlier in the week. Lazartigue and S set a winning standard in the opening marathon race and maintained a high level of performance in the short course racing of the opening series, ultimately each earning gold medals.
I just won the Wingfoil Racing World Cup here, and it was a great event. We had wind, unfortunately, during only 2 days. We managed to make one complete long distance race, which was really exciting, with more than 100 people on the race line and on the race course. And then we went into qualification for a full day with 6 races. It was almost a faultless event for me, with a crash with plastic bags. But that was excellent to race with all the guys and to see the work made during this summer and how it went with all the top guys at the front.
This is my first time here in China in Pingtan. I just won this event here, super happy and super excited. I had a pretty good event. I won the long distance and super happy about my performance. So yeah, it was a pretty nice event here.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be back in the podium after a slow start of the season. I'm back. I'm 3rd place, so I got a bronze medal, finally a colorful medal. For sure I wanted more, but yeah, we'll leave it for the next one.
I just won a bronze medal during the Wingfoil World Cup here in China in Pingtan. I'm really happy about this. My goal was to be on the podium, so here it is.
Pingtan Island proved to be a fantastic host for the riders. Despite the wind playing tricky games in the latter part of the week, participants enjoyed their time there, and China could potentially become a regular stop on the series.